Oh, I did watch it yesterday. The
Oh,
movie.
that's good. I do have to tell you one fun fact that has to do with this episode and not this movie, though I do have plenty about this movie. Um, which includes if it wasn't for this episode, our 69th episode would have been the last Mindfuck book. But then I decided we should do a bonus episode for our 1 year anniversary. Anyways, yes, this is a bonus episode where uh
Um,
somebody somebody's baking and somebody else finally watched Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's been out for over 6 months. It's wild. We were gonna do an episode on it.
Parts up for season two, like twice, for my own mental health. It's okay. Oh my god,
Listen,
yeah.
last night I almost started rewatching Merlin again. That's how you know I'm really, really not okay in the head.
That implies that you're ever okay there.
True, I am also the type of bitch who likes to rewatch Hannibal. Anyways, I watched Red, White, and Royal Blue finally. Took me fucking forever. I took notes. I have lovely notes. Um, you know, and I feel like
Because
is
I'm horrible.
my favorite part of this movie is the actor who plays Henry's just journey in being in movies, right?
Do
Because
you know he's technically royalty?
God, um, he, you know what? I literally was like, wait a second, he's actually British at one point because I know him. The one thing I've seen him in is Purple Hearts, the Netflix movie, where he plays an
I was
American, and his fake
I
American
watched it.
accent in that is too good that I actually thought he was American until I watched this movie, and then I went, wait, he's British, and I had to look it up.
His name is Nick, by the way. Nicholas. Nick.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, the way that the things he's most known for went from Camilla Cabello's or whatever, the Amazon Prime Cinderella movie. That was bad. Playing the prince in that, by the way, as well, fucking iconic. I haven't seen it, but I've heard really bad things about it. To Purple Hearts,
I
have seen
haven't
it.
seen anything season besides Red, Red, and Royal Blue, and like, why is he so good? Like, why was he in class if he's so
I
good?
don't
Like,
know.
that's not fair.
Um, but Purple Hearts, seen it. Was not a good movie. Um, and then he went to this, and I remember a lot of people thinking this wasn't gonna be good because between him, his two most known things being those two movies, playing one main character and the other main character being known for Kissing Book 2 or Kissing Booth 2 and 3. Right? So everyone was like, I don't know, fam. And then everyone was surprised when it was actually good. God, good times. So went to this. And then he went to Bottoms, which is also I've heard really good. And then
Yeah, no, I've heard good things about that too. And all the videos I've seen on it about it, like the trailers and shit, are so funny.
next, soon there's a show where he plays the lover of King James the First. Like
It's like
the real
bad
life
for
person, like,
people saying,
and I've seen trailers for it and it looks good, and I'm just like, God damn it, God damn it! But I'm very excited. So good times. Um, you want to know my other fun fact? I'll start off with my other fun fact. The homophobic king, uh, Henry's
I think I know this one. Yes.
grandfather, right, in this movie. Um, the actor who plays him is gay in real life and is married to a man.
Also, I'm pretty, the principal that is the voiceovers for like the fucking sports based shit
hmm
and Heartstopper. Pretty sure that's him too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is too. I know him. He's like in like one episode of or like 10 minutes of a lot of movies or TV shows I've seen. So I was like, what do I
I
know
think
him
that's
from?
him.
And then was like, wait a second, he's married to a man. They made the homophobic king. The actor who plays him is gay. That's funny. Tee hee.
It really is.
Anyways,
Can you hear her?
No, I cannot.
She's crying like crazy. I hope it's just because she has her mouth.
I am not going to go into every little detail about this goddamn movie because it's a 2-hour
Good.
movie and I don't want a 2-hour episode about a 2-hour movie. Thank you very much. I should note we both read the book. And I read the book before.
I thought it twice.
I've read it twice too. I read it before we were friends the first time. And I think I read it the second time around the time we became friends. And I remember talking you into reading it the first time around the time we became friends. And then I spent a very long time this morning thinking about this, being like, wait a second, has it already been 3 years since we've become friends? And yeah, in like 2 months, we will have been friends for 3 years.
3?
I am 98%.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 98% sure I did the math right. I may be wrong because I haven't had coffee until about 5 minutes ago when I took my first sip, so I may be wrong. And I'm also gay, so there's also that fact, but...
Take a struggle. You can't do math and you can't drive. I say it as I can't do math and I can't drive.
I mean, I can do algebra. That's about it.
I can't. We get it. There's nothing in my head. That's the whole thing.
Anyways, so I took, basic notes. To get my basic notes, the first 3 notes go, it really starts off fast with a cake. Uma Thurman for president, in all caps. And then they're in the closet together, side-eye emoji. That's the same vibe throughout the whole thing. Anyways, very basic rundown. Alex, who is the son of the President of the United States, who is played by Uma Thurman, an icon, a gay icon for me, really. Listen, the George Clooney Batman, where she plays Poison Ivy, was very detrimental to my gay upbringing. Like that, the way my dad showed me that movie and then didn't expect me to become gay, like, I'm sorry. And then Gattaca is also a thing, and I watched it like 6 times in school for classes. Like, that was just the movie. You know how every school has that, like, one movie they put on when they don't want to teach you anything? That was my school's movie. So I've seen that movie so many times, and I love her to the point where I had an ivy plant that I named Uma Thurman.
We have very different ivy lore. You know?
Hello, this is a Fisher Flower podcast. Can you tell I have a migraine? And I'm just laying down in bed.
Oh my god. Girl, the stumpy.
I'm Flower, aka Rose. Every time I almost say fish. I have a migraine today. That's not my fun fact. That's just like a thing to recognize why, if I sound weird or am going backwards in time in our normal intro, because I'm so.
Years.
My head hurts. That's my only excuse. Also, my fun fact, is that I think it was yesterday when I was making my coffee, I spilt sugar everywhere, and some of it may have gotten on my dog.
Your dogs are doing drugs again.
Let's just say she's been really sweet lately because she was covered in sugar. She was so gritty, and she was like so confused why everyone was petting her, trying to get it off of her. She's like, oh thanks! I literally just started crying, laughing so hard. That's my fun fact. I thought you'd like that, so I saved it just for this podcast.
You love me?
Yeah.
Something? Wow. I'd hope so. We've been friends. I don't know.
For 3 years, question mark?
Was it 20, 22, 23, 24? That would be 3 years, right? No,
Yeah.
that'd be 2. And like, I don't know how time works.
I don't know either.
Well, 22 to 23 is 1 year. 20 is 2. We're so smart. Oh shit. Google it, Bestie. Google how long from. It was right before your birthday.
I know it was right before my birthday. Here's another way to remember it. We became friends right after your 18th birthday.
Oh, I think we were sort of friends before that, but it was like solidified by my birthday.
Yes. Alright, do your intro. We shouldn't be
Hello.
doing math. This is gay time. No math allowed.
Hello. Wait, do we think Alex can do that? Henry can do math, for sure.
Henry can do math, but he doesn't need to drive. He has a personal driver. Alex gives me more the type that would be able to drive, but would be able to do math.
Real. Okay. Oh, shit. My name is Fish, by the way. aka Stingray. Like it was said before, I'm cracking pecans open because I love my family occasionally, certain people in my family. Also, I fucking love Red Road Worldview. Also, I understand why they didn't keep, in the part where Alex is like, am I bisexual? Even though he's clearly bisexual in the movie, he's more like, yeah, I'm probably bisexual.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
get
like,
it's to save time, because, like, the book's, like, 500 plus pages. So I get it. Like,
yeah,
it's the same reason they cut out, his sisters and whole character. Like, it makes sense. Like, it's sad, because, like, I get
hear
it.
me out. I love bisexual characters who don't realize they're bisexual. Like, it's so funny to me. It's so endearing.
Good times. You mean, Nick Nelson?
I mean Alex, I mean Nick Nelson, I mean Upstate. There's probably more.
Mara Dyer, if she gives me a chance.
I feel like give me a chance before she gives you a chance. Thank you very much. It's called being extra damaged, and you're mildly damaged, in my opinion. I'm extra damaged. You relate more.
Sorry, I just remembered there was that, like, chapter-long sex scene at the end of the third book. God. War flashbacks just happened.
And then fucking Noah just starts speaking French to her, and I'm, like, bashing my head against the wall, because, like...
Oh my god, I cut my hand. I don't even know when this happened.
Oh my god, girl. Okay, full stop. Where's my, female Noah Saw, for real?
I don't know.
Like, he's already hot, but imagine Noah Saw, but girl, like...
Me just remembering that time I called, Duke. What is that his name? Dust. That's his name. Dust from Unleashed dying.
Yes, I remember.
Still my favorite joke I've ever made. Okay, movie, rundown. Me, really fast. Okay, so the movie starts with Henry's older brother, his wedding. And so there's like this $15,000 cake or something like that, right? And Alex doesn't want to go.
It's like $75.50.
Okay. Alex is going with his best friend Nora. He doesn't want to go. Like, he has to go to, like, for positive relations between America and the U.S. Or, America and U.S. America and the U.K. To make it look good. But he doesn't, like, want to go because Henry has been, standoffish towards him since their first meeting. And he just finds him to be a prick and he doesn't want to deal with that. So he goes, Henry... standoffish, right? Having a good time with his sister. I did like his sister's character in the movie. Also, her dress in the wedding scene, iconic. I loved it. It was on screen for 5 seconds, but I loved it.
Can we talk about how the movie starts? And it's like, oh yeah, the wedding, and then it just cuts to Alex turning to Nora and being like, so, and like, I remember someone tweeting me like, the moment he did like, it's on, the moment he turned like that to her in the car, I was like, hey, you're so right. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, thanks.
You're welcome. So, at the, like, reception part of the wedding, right? So, Alex Alex is trying to talk to Henry, and whatnot, but he's also like drinking a lot, so he accidentally gets
LOL.
some cake on his hand. It really starts off real fast in the movie. I feel like it took longer to get to
It's
this point in
so
the
fast
book.
paced.
But he ends up getting some cake on some Henry, and then there's a fight, and the cake topples, and it's all over. It's like reported everywhere, so all the stuff. And of course it's a re-election year. Just perfect time for me to watch the movie. And so, President Uma Thurman, that is not her name in the movie. I do not care. I call her President Uma Thurman. It's all like, hey, it's a re-election year, and I'm not going to be the first U.S. president, female U.S. president who happens to not be re-elected. Like, come on. We gotta do stuff for the polls. So you gotta make it look like you and Henry have actually secretly been best friends for all these years. So Alex has to go back to the UK. I'm just gonna note this really funny fun fact also. So at this point, for like a solid like 5 minutes, Alex makes comments about how Henry is not 6'2". Like there's no way he's 6'2", all this stuff. Because like they both get dossiers on the other one with like fun facts about everything about them. Right? And so Henry says that he's 6'2", and he's like, there's no way he's 6'2". He shows up for their first photo shoot. A lot of the photo shoot and interview stuff is like a lot of Henry having to look perfect and Alex just being there. Right? And so they like are talking during the photo shoot while they're shaking hands and all this stuff, and he's all like, well, at least I don't say I'm 6'2" when I'm really not. And Henry's like, says the man wearing lifts in his shoes. Don't think I didn't notice. I would like you know, I looked it up afterwards, and both of them are exactly 6 feet. And
I love them.
And the actor who plays Alex must have actually been wearing lifts, because in that scene he is a solid inch or two taller than Henry, which means they probably actually put up in shoes with lifts so that for the whole scene it was hilarious. I lived my life.
If I was an actor and we were doing a scene and I was wearing a lift and the other actor turned to me and was like, "You're wearing a lift, sweetheart," I would implode. Like I would lose my job.
Oh my god, the behind the scenes photos of the Iron Man movies, because Robert Downey Jr. is like a solid like 6 inches shorter than Gwyneth Paltrow, right? But like he needs to be taller than her, or at least as tall as her when she's wearing heels also in the movie. So he has to wear these platform shoes, and it's so funny. It's iconic.
Also, this is set in basically the regular way, just slightly. It's like it's the same. It's set and like this. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The universe is exactly the same, but if
yes,
you
that
know,
was like kind of
we
Casey McQuinton's.
Yeah, I wish we did.
That was like
so
Casey McQuinton's whole entire point of writing this whole book, as like
and I enjoy
just like a pipe dream of what could have been.
That for them. Yeah, that's what you know what I mean. Yes. You know how to fill in the gaps for me.
So they're going to do like photo shoots and interviews and whatnot, and part of this is going to a children's hospital. Henry talks about how he goes there a lot and whatnot. And a kid sets off firecrackers, which is very problematic in a hospital normally, to set off firecrackers, because there's a lot of oxygen tanks and like just pure oxygen in hospitals, especially like I'm pretty sure it's a cancer children's hospital too. So that could have like actually exploded things. Anyways, because the popping sounds like gunshots, the security throws both of them into a closet. And the way I wrote in my notes, they're in a closet together.
So again,
yeah.
Hear me out.
So they're having a conversation.
Part of the interview, and that's when Alex goes, Vicky, with his hands. You
know? So Henry takes this time where they're like locked in a closet together to be like, hey, so why do you hate me? And Alex explains the first time they met, Alex wasn't used to being in front of the camera and all this stuff. And while Henry had grown up in it, so he like wanted to be friends, talk about it, all this stuff. The only he wanted them to be friends, and Henry didn't say anything to him, and instead said to his security, "Get me out of here," right? And Henry's like, "Oh, didn't know you heard that," and like explains it as it was right after his father died, and a real life thing that actually happens for the royal family, which kind of sad. So they basically pushed him in front of cameras, and whatnot to like be like, "We're totally fine. We're not grieving at all," right? Which is something that IRL Prince Harry has talked about. So like realistic, sadly. And so instead of saying "get me out of here," he said "get me out of this." But he's like, "Is that all?" And Alex is like, "Yes." I would like to know, up until this point, Henry has been very standoffish towards Alex constantly in every scene and just ignores him. And so the way that is like, that's all, but like, you also kind of were questionable before this too, but it's never really brought up. I just wanted to bring that up.
The fact the poster wasn't a part of the movie is so sad.
I know, right? So, they go their separate ways. At one point, Alex is at a coffee shop, runs into one of his exes.
Fucking Miguel.
Who's a reporter now. Hear me out. In the books, it was
fucking someone in our episode.
Someone had to out Alex and Henry in this, right? They changed who it is. They like completely erased the character from the book who does it and created the reporter X character to be the one to do it. I already knew about this, so I was already like, this guy. He's already pushing Alex for like quotes and information. Alex is like, no, right at this point. So also things at this point.
I got a half out cast. Everybody clap.
Alex and Henry are like texting and calling occasionally, right? It's very cute. They're laughing at each other's jokes.
They set all up. The text popping up on screen and all that stuff. I love that. Like it was.
And also like when Alex was on a run and it was like Henry was there saying the text messages to him type thing.
Yeah, on the bit and then when they're watching the movie and he's like walking around the room and his texts are popping up. I love that.
Yes, it was really well done. I had heard that was well done, so yes. Anyways, it's time for the pardoning of the turkey, the Thanksgiving tradition, where Alex is like, "That's fucking weird," and he's like, "I don't understand why this turkey needed like a $15,000 hotel room, so he just keeps it in his room at the White House." But it keeps on freaking him out, so he like calls Henry about it, and they're talking on the phone. And at one point, like the a version of Henry is like laying on the bed talking to Alex, while Alex is also laying on his bed looking at this version of Henry.
At this point, also, it sounds like he's in the room until they're about to hang up, and then it sounds like he's on the phone again, and that makes me want to do something drastic.
Yeah. So, at one point during this phone call, Alex is like, "Hey, why are you awake?" Because it's like 3 a.m. in England land, right? And Henry's like,
"Oh my
God, because some idiot called me, but also because I have trouble sleeping. It's an insomnia thing, right? I would like to point out, this is me noting little things that happen throughout this movie that make this movie so much better than it would have been just like with just the large things that happen throughout the movie, right? After they get together, every time they sleep in the same bed and Alex is holding him, let's just say it doesn't look like he has insomnia. It looks like he sleeps very peacefully when Alex is there. And I'm just saying, as a bitch with insomnia.
That's one of my things that makes me want to die in like books and shit. Because what do you mean? What do you mean I can't sleep? And then the other person's there, and then they can sleep. Like I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna sob just thinking about it right now. Like
I'm gonna sob thinking about the fact that we never got to see Alex see Henry wearing his glasses.
Yeah.
That is personally a really important scene in the book to me. Anyways.
No, but no, you're right. Because when characters see, like, when something changes, like someone sees them and their glasses for the first time, or like they wear their hair different or something, that they don't wear it, do it, in, like whatever they do, they don't do it in public. Ah!
Yeah. So, it's the New Year's party, right? Henry goes to Alex's New Year party. It's his whole big event. Um, he brings his best friend, who happens to have a thing for Nora, who is Alex's best
Percy!
friend. Yep. Not as important of a character. I don't think he really gets a line, and I think he gets one line in that one scene. In the movie, he's a way more important character in the books. Um, but Alex and Henry are hanging out. Henry, most of the time, standing at the sidelines, just watching as like girls are flirting with Alex, and he's just like, just there. Henry's just there watching the party from the sidelines. The way I was like, wow, I love being represented in media. um. Anyways, it comes to the point of like ball drop, blah blah blah. Um. Also, there's like that song that's like there's a song, everyone drops to the floor except for Alex and Henry, and they're looking at each other, and then the ball drops, and like two separate girls kiss Alex, and Henry goes outside. I would like to note this is DC in January, so it is snowy and cold, and he's just wearing a suit. Um, Also the way that he didn't expect Alex to be gay, but like at the kiss scene that's about to happen, Alex is wearing this very floral suit, and I'm just like, hello. It's like shiny and floral, and I'm like, hello? That suit's so gay. Anyways, Henry goes outside, Alex finds him, and he's like, hey, did I do something wrong? And Henry, listen, there's a lot of great lines about Henry's sexuality in general. Um, and, the responsibilities he has, and how they counteract each other, and blah, blah, blah. But he's all like, I can't love the people I love, and all this stuff, and Alex is just like, I'm confused. So then Henry kisses him and then leaves. Right. And then there's like a month passes, and Henry won't reply to any of Alex's calls or text messages or anything. So he goes to Nora. At which point I wrote, Nora, heart eye emoji. Because Nora is great. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So, he talks to Nora. There's like a whole thing where he talks about how Henry kissed him, and how he's kind of, had things with guys before, the ex-reporter, and then a guy from high school, which I think references his one, past experience from the books, right? Um, but like, he doesn't know, like, he thinks he's bisexual, uh, and he wants to kiss Henry again, and all this stuff. And so, she's all like, okay, what are you gonna do? And there's like this whole, Prime Minister slash US meeting thing, dinner thing, and they both have to be there. And so, while Henry's there, he's gonna, like, talk about how he wants to kiss him again. Good times sometimes. Uh, So, the Prime Minister meeting, he gets a moment alone with Henry. They make out, uh, and then get caught by security making out. There's a bunch of boner jokes, including Stonehenge. And then Henry, or Alex tells Henry to come to his room later, right? Um, I would like to note my next note is these hoes are so gay. I love them. Iconic. We love them. Uh, Henry goes to Alex's room. Henry gives head. Really, just imagine, like, the Prince of England. Like, right? Anyways, afterwards, Henry,
I was talking this time, but I was muted.
I figured you were muted, and I just ignored it.
No, I was like, oh my god, you're missing a very important plot. And oh my god, how long was I muted? That's the real question.
Probably like 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ, I was just talking away. You forgot the plot. where when Henley's watching and Alex is watching him, but Alex is talking to Miguel. Miguel's like, Miguel's like, oh yeah, he's obviously distracted. And he's like, oh yeah, and then he's like, you have plans to, try to flee Texas, and he's like, oh yeah, and like Alex is like, wow, and then Miguel uses that as an actual thing, as an
Mhm.
actual,
Um.
yeah.
So after Henry's leaving Alex's room, I think they at this point have a conversation about their sexualities, uh, and whatnot. And
The first time Alex says he's bisexual, like, God, it's,
hmm so Henry's leaving the room, and he like opens up the door and checks the hallway to make sure no one's there, right? And then this is one of those small moments where I was just like, good God, I didn't need to leave this like 30 seconds in. It would have saved a lot of time and whatnot if they didn't leave all these small moments in. But like they're so great, where he opens up the door, checks that no one's there, and then he turns around and just stands in the doorway, just approvingly staring at Alex, and then nods and then leaves. And I'm just like, okay.
what if I backfired against the wall?
Like I 100% believed that this man was in love with this other man at this moment in time. Okay.
Obviously, they've been in love with each other the whole time.
Anyways, my next note is polo bitches.
Oh my God.
So Henry has a polo charity thing. Alex goes. The whole entire like Henry playing polo is intercut with I'm pretty sure Alex going down on Henry in
Because
the
the whole time I just can't stop thinking about how good Henry's ass looks in the fucking polo pants.
I know, right? In the supply room, they're having a good time. My
I
next
kind of
note.
miss. I wish it wasn't cut up like that, but at the same time, it was really good. Just like I missed the conversation they had
I know,
during
right?
that.
I know, right?
It's
My
so
next note
funny.
is you, the reporter returns. Because at this point, Henry. So Alex is like hanging out at this bar, kind of, and the reporter comes up and is all like trying to start up a conversation, trying to get all seductive, right? I think it's like a hotel bar, right? And Alex is like, no, because
That's not
you
probably like.
literally told everyone that I was gonna take over Texas, and at this point, Alex like actually did have a plan, but no one was reading it, and so eventually, because of it, his mom eventually reads it and is like, actually, this is kind of a good plan. Go do that. And so he is actually succeeding at doing that now. So the reporter's like, it's fine. Everything turned out fine. He's like, yeah, but that was still a shitty thing to do. And then Henry just shows up,
But it's
and so
gonna tell
Alex is like, oh,
Miguel.
I gotta go.
Like,
Bye.
isn't that like no one questions the way that Miguel knew that shit? Like,
I
he's
know,
so
right?
serious.
So yeah, no, Alex goes with Henry upstairs to his hotel room. Miguel totally clocks that. This is the first time they go all the way.
Which
Uh, that's all the detail of giving, other than the fact that once they are both shirtless, at one point, Henry strokes Alex's shoulder really weird, and I brought up like 3 times in messages to the fish, being like, why the hell?
no, because the conversation they have, and like someone's like, "Oh, that's make love," and Alex is like, "What? We're gonna listen to Lana Del Rey when we do it?" Like,
Also, the fact that Henry did that, like, and don't worry, he has experience doing this because he went to an all boys boarding school.
I mean, in the book it says he went to college, but LOL.
I'm just gonna sip my coffee because pee. Anyways, they do that, and then afterwards they're just lounging in their robes eating chocolate pudding. I literally wrote, why are they eating chocolate pudding in hotel robes? Good
Hear
times.
me out. Why do they just have their dogs out too? Like, give these bitches some socks.
I know, right? So, yeah, they are kind of more regularly seeing each other. At this point, Henry does say that technically his grandfather knows who is the king. But he just says that he can't do or tell anyone because, yeah, it's against the rules, right? His sister knows and is very supportive, and his brother is, obliviously ignorant of everything. Right? And his mother probably knows, but she probably wouldn't even know unless if he was an elephant that she could do charity work for. Um, good times. So eventually, what's her name? I think her name's Zara. Is Zara her name?
No,
What's her
I
name?
don't know. I don't remember.
I will look it up.
Oh, the conversation in the beginning after when Alex was
It is
complaining.
Zara. Don't tell me I'm wrong. It's Zara.
My bad. Where there's Alex is complaining that he has to go back to London, right, and they're having that whole little conversation, and he's like, "What if I light myself on fire?" And she's like, "Alex, it's your ashes." I'm like, I love them.
Oh yes.
That whole conversation is so coded, and like, I'm Alex, you're Zara in that situation. I'm like, "What if I light myself on fire?" And you'd be like, "Oh, I skip your ashes."
So Zara is technically, I think this isn't to the president, but she works closely with Alex a lot, and so Alex is not up yet. He's late. He has to go to this thing, and she's freaking out. So she just barges into his room. Guess who's in his room? He's cuddling at this time. Henry. Henry hides in the closet wearing just a shirt and boxers. Lovely. And Alex is completely naked. Quickly puts on pants. And she's like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god, this woman left her phone here. Oh my god, I'm gonna find this person. Oh my god," freaking out. And then she hears something in the closet, opens up the closet. There's Henry, and he's like, "Oh hi!" And then just jumps out and just calmly closes the closet door. And she's like freaking out. She's all like, "Oh no, this is not good. Oh no." And she's like, "Who knows about this?" Because Alex is like, "You can't tell my mom. She doesn't know yet." About my sexuality, all this stuff. And Zara's like, "I do not give a fuck." And she's all like, "Okay, who knows?" And so they're listing off the people, and Henry's like, "Well, actually, my sister, I told her about us." And Alex is like, "Oh, that's sweet." They're just having a sweet little conversation about how
all the dialogue in this scene is fucking perfect. Because, like, Zara comes in, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm fully naked." And she's like, "I don't care." What the fuck, you know?
But yeah, there's this cute thing where they're on the side just like talking about how Henry's sister knows and is being very supportive and very happy for them and all this stuff, and it's very cute. And she's like, "Oh my god, shut the fuck up." And just politically handles the whole situation, right? I'm pretty sure the next scene.
Don't forget. And she's like, blah 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 blah. And you put your dick in the Prince of England, and Henry's like, "The spare." I'm technically the spare.
Yep. So, in the next scene, I'm pretty sure is the one where Alex comes out to his mom. He's like, "Hey, I've met someone." And she's like, "Okay," and she, what's her name? Is she better not be a Republican. Literally, the quote is, "She's not a Republican, is she?" Because I literally wrote it fucking down. And he's like, no, also, he's a he, and also, he's Prince Henry of England. And she's like, "Okay." So they sit down, and there is a reference to like she wish she had more time. For more forewarning, because she would have liked to make a PowerPoint, which I think is a reference to the book where she actually makes a PowerPoint. And whatnot. But there's this whole scene where there's this whole part where she's like, "Okay, you better wear a condom. I'll get you pamphlets." And he's all like, "Mom, Dad, please, good times."
That's maybe pretty obviously.
Yes. So now, it's Texas Getaway, good times sometimes. Where, they go to, his father's home in Texas, right? And with Nora, and I think Percy goes as well. So it's the four of them at the Texas house. Prince Harry, they go out drinking. Harry's like, or Harry, no, Henry. Henry's all like, "I'm not doing karaoke," and then he does karaoke. I laughed.
I think it's important to mention that in the book, the sex and the karaoke happens in LA, but the karaoke happens in Texas, and then the sex happens in fucking Paris. Like,
I know, right? So, next up is the lake scene. My notes on the lake scene is not the lake scene in all caps. Because so there's a woman, right? You know the like wooden buoys that are on lakes.
Did you notice that Alex is reading one last.
Henry's laying one of those. Alex comes up to him and he starts talking about how he has feelings for Henry, and Henry's solution is to just swim away.
The underwater shot makes me want to bash my head against the wall.
I can't
Did
can't
you?
not laugh at that. It's so dumb. Now,
I mean, that's what he does in the book too.
listen, I get it. It's valid. I'm pretty sure at this point Henry has already set the line where he can love Alex but not want to be with him because uh he can't himself like personally deal with switching one cage for another. Because Henry, or not Henry, Alex wants to go into politics too, and so like being in a cage his whole life, he can't like switching that for another cage is not what he wants with his life, all this stuff. Which was another great line. You know, so, oh no, that line happens after this. Oh no.
What's the last thing you heard me bitching about?
I don't fucking know.
Um,
I remember me talking about him swimming away, and then talking about this whole grade A conversation about how he doesn't want to switch one person for another, right? But I misremembered when that happened. I thought that happened before him swimming away. No, that happens after he swims away, when Henry goes to him in the rain.
well, I was talking about how I love the underwater shot of Henry, and then I was
Yes,
like,
I
oh my
remember
god,
that.
don't forget about how when they were in Paris and they were talking, and they were talking about their last day, and Alex was like, I thought Alexander, whatever his full name is, was a mouthful, and Henry's like, he is. I'm like, it is. Like, can they stop? Like, can they
I know, right?
talk? That's so
Um,
important to the plot, obviously.
yeah. So, they go, so Henry isn't replying to any of Alex's messages again. Nora goes, well, you have freaking flyer miles. Go visit him. So he just shows up in the rain one day. As I would like to know, this whole point we're getting a time lapse of just Henry being depressed, telling his sister that they broke up, because he got
I'm
too
so
close,
excited.
and him playing the piano and all this stuff. And so, and then all of a sudden, someone's just like, Alex is outside in the rain, and so he has to let him in. Alex is like soaking wet, and he's like, I don't care. I love you. And Henry's all like, I can't switch one prison for another. The way I wrote, but okay, the one prison for another line hit too hard. Why'd they do that to me? And then to sweet moment, whatnot. Henry takes Alex to this museum. My note for the museum is museum. That's it. That's the whole note.
Museum.
I know. um, Henry talks about how he always wanted to take someone to this museum. Someone he cared for. And then they slow dance. It's sweet.
No, because I can't fucking watch this fucking movie without sobbing at the fucking whatever you want to call it, that scene. Them talking, you know? And
Mhm.
then like Nick Bowen did so fucking good in that scene, but like Nick, what the fuck? I need to personally ask him what the fuck. Cause my mental health, I like I'm tearing up thinking about this fucking scene right now. Like
Don't worry, we get to the point where I actually cried.
I cried like 5 times, even though I've seen it like 5 times.
Um,
I should
so,
watch.
Alex has to go back home. But, so Henry takes him to the airport, right?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Did you okay? When Nora and Alex are talking about the kiss and stuff, you know the hoodie that he's wearing. Did you notice that Nick? I mean, fucking hell, Henry is wearing it in this scene. Did you
Yes.
notice that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm
Um,
kidding. It's
so,
not out yet.
so Henry, but they go to the airport so Alex can go back home. And throughout this movie, whenever Henry's stressed, he is, playing with this ring on his, I think it's like the family crest or something, on his pinky. And so he's like playing with it again as he's walking him to the plane, and, gives it to Alex and says he wants him to have it. So Alex gives him the necklace that has the key to his home in Texas and gives it to Henry, and then hugs him and says he'll wait
Also,
however long he needs him to, and it's very sweet. I would like you to know, I literally wrote Henry giving Alex his ring and Alex giving him his key necklace cry emoji, and then right after that is, oh no, the outing scene right after that, what if I cry?
Real. Also, when they quote make love and listen to Lana Del Rey, LOL, with the fucking key dangling the whole time. Like, I can't do that. Like, who the hell? Like, you know. Anyways,
Um, so we're at the end stretch already. So basically Miguel hacked into, I don't know if he
fucking.
actually hacked, but he basically got all their private emails and text messages and everything.
Well, he was in there the whole time. That's how he got the Texas memo.
Yeah, and so he basically outs them to everyone to be like, see, this is why we can't have her as president again. And literally, a bunch of reporters are interviewing Miguel afterwards. They're like, okay, but like, why do we have to know this?
But also, how did you get all this information so quickly?
I know, right? And Miguel's like, well, technically they're public personalities, so we're in the right to have this information. And Alex goes up on stage,
There's
and
like a bunch of emails, and they're like, how did you get it done so quickly? Because it's like nearly 100 emails, you know? And
mhm.
like, how do you read them all and write a whole article about it? It's like under 3 hours. Like, and the interview lady was like, and he's like, I don't know what you're getting at. Like, hello?
I know, right? So Henry can't contact Alex because they've taken away his phone and everything, and they're like, no, you can't talk to anyone, all this stuff, right? Meanwhile, Alex is getting up on stage, telling everyone, that, yeah, they had a thing, they are a thing, they are happily together, but, the way that everyone is so obsessed with this fact and all this stuff is, very questionable. And it's none of their right to know who they are in their private lives, like, all this stuff. Um,
And
great
how
speech.
gross and not the et cetera outing is.
Uh-huh. Um, there's also, I forgot to bring this up, but during that brief breakup when Henry leaves him, he is, during the time lapse of him being depressed that they're broken up, literally is just like looking up articles of Alex doing political stuff in Texas for his mom's campaign and being like so proud of him, and I'm just like, hello? Anyways, afterwards Alex is talking to Zara and being like, I'm so depressed without my boyfriend, and he's like, I hope Henry watched that. I imagine he was. I can picture the way his eyebrow does that thing whenever he's paying attention to something and all this stuff. And Zara's like, oh my fucking god, gets out her phone, calls up, uh, kind of butler guy, kind of, I don't remember, to
Personal assistant. That's what
personal
I.
assistant to Henry, who is
I
her
think he is.
boyfriend secretly this whole time, calls him up and is like, okay, if you do not give your phone to Henry so that these two lovesick idiots can talk, you will never see me naked again.
And Alex is like, hold on.
And I was like, I'll tell you what. And she's like, listen, you may be horrible at keeping secrets, but I'm great at it. It's my whole job. So, uh, so yeah, she gives her phone to Alex. He gives his phone to Henry. Henry's like playing the piano sadly when he comes in with the phone, and he's like, Alex, and Alex, he's like, how are you? And Alex is like, I'm
So
not
firstly,
great, but I'm
Alex
doing.
is baby, and I vastly had against the wall every single time.
He's like, I'm not doing great, but I'm fine. How are you? And he says that's horrible. So he says, it's okay. I'll be there. I'll break the sound barrier for you. And as he's saying, I'll break the sound barrier for you, is Henry, or not, Alex showing up and Henry running down the stairs, and as soon as Henry sees Alex, he literally collapses into Alex's arms, and I'm
I'm fine.
fine.
I'm so fine as well.
Um, at this point, I
Oh my
did,
god, this isn't enough pecan.
I don't know. At this point, I did text a fish saying, "What if I cry?" And then I started to cry.
I love how you're like, what if I cry at the very end? And I'm like, I've been crying this whole time.
Um, so, oh, my next note is okay. I get it. It's cute. Literally that's it for my notes. But I know what happens after this. So then the king calls them in and is all like, "We need to have a conversation. We're gonna cover this up." And Henry's like, I don't think so. Like everyone
Why
already
didn't you
knows.
call me
Alex
like
already confirmed it. Um. In front of everyone, and I love him and all this stuff, and they're holding hands, and it's very sweet. I'm pretty sure Henry's brother comes in and is like, "Oh my god,
Stop!
what the
And
fuck?"
in this part where Henry goes to twist his ring, but he doesn't have it. and then it pans to Alex twisting the ring. Ow!
Yeah, the king's like, the country won't accept a gay, prince, all this stuff. Cough, cough, King James the First, who is hilarious because, one, the actor who plays Henry is gonna play his liver in that show, but also Henry's grandfather is also named James. He's King James the Third. So that's all very funny to me. Okay. Anyways, so he is all like, oh, we can't have a gay prince. No one would accept you. We'd be the laughingstock. Blah 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 blah. And then Q basically everyone in support of Prince Henry and Alex being together and being gay, happiness, and at the end they're just happy. They're just happy. At the end.
They're gay and they're happy, and I want to reread the book again. I have so many things to read right now.
Anyways, it's a good movie. I get it, guys. I get it. It's cute. I understand it now.
I'm so glad they released the ice cream scene, even though it wasn't in the movie. Did you see it?
Yes.
I want to watch it again. I hate watching it. The way he eats the ice cream, like, I have to tickle. You know?
Yeah, no, this was a good movie. I almost said book.
Good movie good.
Yes. I finally watched it. It took me fucking forever. It came out in August, and I watched it end of February.
You waited so long.
It's funny because I've seen like 7 different videos on it. So I knew everything that happened.
Well, you read the book. You should know what's gonna happen.
That too. Here's the thing: they don't in all the videos they don't leave in all the tiny cute little moments together, which like makes sense. And so I got to see all those for the first time, and those were like my favorite parts: seeing all those cute little tiny moments, like the insomnia bit, and then like the 3 times we see them in bed together. Henry's just sound asleep in Alex's arms to the point where he sleeps past their alarm clock, and Zara has to come in and like find out that they're a thing. Like, anyways, it's good.
Movie good. Good movie.
Do you have anything else to say about our 1-year anniversary episode?
Can't believe we've been doing it this long.
I know. Can you believe I've been editing this shit for so long? I've been editing too much.
Sorry, Dusty.
I need a break. I need an editing vacation. I say so I'm gonna go edit this episode right now in case we lose power. I've not told you about the wind. The wind is so bad. The other night, it actually, like, I couldn't sleep for longer than an hour straight because the wind was so loud. It kept on waking me up.
My God.
So that's how bad the wind is. And when that happens, power lines fall. Anyways, I want to go rewatch Merlin, so.
Oh my God, no.
Why not?
Do you need to do literally anything else?
Yeah, including reading all the books I have to read. Yeah, I get that I have to do those, but have you, my little gaze. I need my one blonde, tall gay and my one brunette gay who is generally more sensitive emotionally to end up together happily ever after, even though the end of the show is one of them dying in the other one's arms saying thank you for the first time ever in the whole entire series in his arms. It's fine. I'm not always crying thinking about it.
Oh my God.
I'm a depressed bitch.
Huh?
I'm almost done with my coffee. Should I make another one? I should not make another one. Stop me from making another one, because every time I've made a second coffee in the past 2 weeks, every time I have a migraine right afterwards.
Don't make another coffee. I opened my sparkling ice at like 9:30, and I still haven't finished it.
Alright, I'm ending off this episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Happy bonus 1-year anniversary episode.
Hell yeah.